When Vladimir Putin took the world by surprise, annexing Crimea in March, few thought it would lead to this. 6 months on, more than 2,500 dead, conflict still raging in the east, Russia and the West are more hostile than at any time since the Cold War. So what are Putin's objectives and what are his motivations? Putin approaches this crisis from a position of strength. His constitutional changes mean he will probably still be in power in 2024. Only two things might unseat him. Firstly, a massive popular disaffection at home. Secondly, a full-blown war with the West, in which everyone would lose. Somewhere between these two potential pitfalls, he's carved out a strategy. Russians have always taken a negative view of NATO expansion. The Baltic republics have long since gone, but Georgia, Moldova, and Ukraine are still up for grabs. It's vital for Putin's popularity and legacy that lands once dominated by Moscow are not given up. But this time, he may have more to lose than to gain from an expensive and risky annexation bid. There is also fear inside the Kremlin that the Western move eastwards is part of an American plot to execute regime change in Russia.
Russia is responsible for the violence in eastern Ukraine. The violence is encouraged by Russia. The separatists are trained by Russia. They are armed by Russia. They are funded by Russia.
So what is Putin's doctrine on Ukraine?
Russian jets still roam freely and inspire fear.
The war in 2008 with Georgia provided the template. That war, in which Putin knew the West would not intervene, resulted in a frozen conflict, chunks of territory left in limbo. It appears that Putin's aim in Ukraine is similar, to instigate maximum destabilization, making it impossible for his rival Petro Poroshenko to govern from Kiev. There are around 1,000 Russian soldiers and 200 armored personnel carriers operating deep in Ukrainian territory. Putin argues for greater self-determination for the East and has even started referring to statehood for the region.
Why has the United Arab Emirates, a small, wealthy Gulf state, been secretly bombing targets in distant Libya from bases in Egypt and without telling the US, its closest ally?